The hottest stock in the hottest trade of the entire year. It powers artificial intelligence. It is backed by the most famous man in tech. Wall Street says buy it. Retail traders worship it. And it has never sold a single watt of commercial electricity. Not one. Today, that stock takes the stand. Order in the court. The defendant is Oklo, ticker OKLO, a nuclear company building small modular reactors, the kind that are supposed to feed the bottomless power appetite of the data centers running AI. It is, on paper, the perfect story. The problem with perfect stories is what happens when you read past the first page. So let us read. Here is the chart. Last October, Oklo touched $193 a share, a pre-revenue nuclear startup valued like a tech giant. Then gravity arrived. It fell to roughly $45, a drop of nearly 80%. Today it has clawed back to about 60. So the question for the jury is simple. Was that crash the mistake, or was the rally? Exhibit A, Oklo's own filings. The company generates no meaningful commercial revenue. Its first commercial power plant, the Aurora, is targeted for roughly 2030. Full build-out, 2034. Read that again. The market is paying about $10.5 billion today for power that, by the company's own timeline, arrives in 4 years, if everything goes right.
Well, come on now, dawg.
Exhibit B. What does a pre-revenue company do for 4 years? It burns money. Oklo guides to spending up to $100 million just running the business this year, and as much as $450 million more on plants and equipment. Over the trailing year, it lost more than $100 million. It raised $1.2 billion selling new shares. Your shares, diluted, to fund the dream. Exhibit C, the insiders. Now, be fair. Oklo's founders sell stock under a prearranged plan filed back in March of 2025. Some sales were just to cover taxes. That is normal. That is legal. That is not a smoking gun, and anyone who tells you it is selling you outrage. So we will not ask whether it is legal. We will ask something harder, and that question is next. The chief executive sold 200,000 shares at about $50 in April. The chief operating officer sold at over $110 in January. So here is the question the courtroom actually cares about. When the two people who understand a 4-year-away company better than anyone alive build a machine to sell into every single rally, what does that quietly tell you about the next 4 years? Exhibit D, the halo. Oklo did not IPO the normal way. It reversed into a blank check company, a SPAC, chaired by Sam Altman. Yes, the OpenAI founder, the single most powerful name in artificial intelligence, stamped on a nuclear startup. Marketing does not get more perfect. But note the date. Altman stepped down as chairman in April of 2025 to avoid conflicts of interest. The face left the building.
My God, who the hell cares?
Exhibit E, and this one matters most. In 2022, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission denied an earlier Oklo license application, citing insufficient safety information. Denied. Past tense. Fact. Building a first-of-a-kind reactor, on time, on budget, is one of the hardest things humans attempt. The base rate for on schedule is brutal. The chart does not price brutal. The chart prices a press release. In fairness, let the defense speak. And the defense is not weak. Oklo has real momentum. The Department of Energy just cleared a safety milestone for Aurora this month. It has a pipeline pointing at Meta, at NVIDIA. It sits on about $2.5 billion in cash, and there is a reactor criticality test scheduled for July 4th. This is not a fake company. That is exactly the trap. The best bull traps are real companies at insane prices. So let us talk price, the only thing on trial. $10.5 billion, zero commercial revenue, first power in 4 years. And the analysts who cover it, their price targets run from $14 to $140. 14 to 140, a 10 times spread. Translation, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, nobody actually knows what this is worth. When nobody knows what something is worth, and the floor is $14, and the people who know it best are systematically selling, the risk is not balanced. It points down. This is not a fraud. This is not a bad company. This is a magnificent science project, wearing a $10 billion price tag it has not earned yet. The verdict is sell. Not forever, just not here, not at this price, not on a press release. The defense will appeal. They always do. And maybe, in 2030, Oklo powers the machines that change the world, and this verdict ages badly. But a verdict is about the evidence, today. And today, the evidence says you are paying for a future that has not shown up for work yet. Court is adjourned. If the ruling moved you, subscribe and tell us who belongs in the dock next.